If you've been scrolling through endless home gym options and still feel stuck, you're not alone. I spent a week setting up the Titan Smart Home Gym, swapping it in and out of my living room, and I finally figured out if it's the all-in-one solution you keep hearing about. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. The first thing I noticed is how the machine tries to solve a very specific problem. You want a full-body strength routine without having to buy a squat rack, a cable station, and a separate cardio unit. The Titan folds the squat rack, a set of functional handles, and a ski simulator into a single footprint that promises a digital weight system you can dial up or down with a button. That promise sounds great on paper, but the real test is whether it actually fits into a typical apartment or a modest home gym, and whether you can move from a deadlift to a cardio ski session without feeling like you're wrestling with a piece of gym equipment that was designed for a warehouse. Let's talk setup. Unboxing is a two-person job. The frame comes in a few large panels that need to be bolted together, and the digital control panel attaches to the front of the rack. Once the basic structure is up, you hang the triangle handles, clip on the ankle straps, and slide the barbell into its cradle. The whole process took me about an hour and a half, including tightening all the bolts and calibrating the weight numbers on the screen. For someone who's not a DIY enthusiast, that's a reasonable time investment, but it does mean you need a spare set of hands or at least a friend to help you lift the heavier pieces. Daily usability is where the design either shines or falls flat. The digital control panel is the hub for everything: selecting the weight, switching between strength mode and ski mode, and tracking your rep count. It's a simple LCD with a few buttons, so there's no steep learning curve. I started my mornings with a quick 15-minute circuit, 3 sets of squats using the barbell, a set of tricep rope extensions, and then a 5-minute ski interval. Switching between the barbell and the ski platform is just a matter of sliding the footplate forward and pulling the rope, which feels intuitive after a couple of tries. The transition time is under a minute, which is a big win if you're trying to keep your heart rate up without taking long breaks. Now for the practical strengths. First, the versatility is real. You can perform classic lift squats, deadlifts, overhead presses using the same barbell that locks into the rack, and you also have the option to do low-impact cardio with the ski simulation. That dual function means you're not forced to choose between strength and cardio when space is at a premium. Second, the digital weight system eliminates the need for a massive stack of plates. You set the desired resistance on the screen, and the machine uses a magnetic resistance mechanism to apply the load. The result is a quieter workout, which is a blessing if you live in an apartment with thin walls. Third, the inclusion of ankle straps and a tricep rope gives you a decent range of accessory work without having to buy separate cable pulleys. On the flip side, there are hidden trade-offs. Because the resistance is magnetic rather than plate-based, the maximum load caps out around 250 pounds. That ceiling is fine for most beginners and intermediate lifters, but anyone who routinely pushes past that will quickly outgrow the machine. The ski mode, while novel, feels more like a low-intensity cardio option than a true ski trainer. The resistance curve is linear, so you won't get the same feel of descending a slope or the burst of power needed for sprint intervals. Also, the footprint, despite being marketed as compact, still occupies roughly a 3x4 foot area when fully extended. If you have a tiny studio apartment, you'll need to dedicate a permanent corner to the unit or be prepared to move it around, which can be cumbersome because of the weight of the assembled frame. Who should consider buying the Titan? If you're a busy professional who wants to squeeze a balanced strength and cardio session into a limited space, this machine hits the sweet spot. It works well for people who are newer to weight training and appreciate the guided digital interface, as well as for those who value a clean, plate-free aesthetic. Home-based trainers who need a single piece of equipment that can simulate a variety of movements will find the built-in handles, ankle straps, and barbell sufficient for most routine designs. It also appeals to families with limited garage space. The ski mode gives kids a fun, low-impact way to burn energy without needing a separate treadmill. Conversely, you should skip it if you're an advanced lifter chasing heavy squats, deadlifts, or Olympic lifts that demand more than 250 pounds of resistance. Serious powerlifters will quickly hit the ceiling, and the lack of a true plate loading system means you can't simply add weight as you progress. If you're looking for an